What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have several very important updates. First of all, I will show you an update in Scott Traudt's litigation. On top of that, I will show you some information in regards to the potential class action lawsuit that should be switched from the lawsuit that was filed by Mark Basile's firm, where the lead plaintiff, is Anna Traudt. And I have to admit that it is quite interesting update. On top of that, guys, I will show you some information from George Palikaras that was confirmed by John Burda. And on top of that, I will show you that some of MMTLP community members who was extremely active back in the days again started to make her videos. I think you know who this person is. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's begin today's video with this tweet. It was published by Roman Soups with this screenshot, and he makes this update on Scott Traudt's litigation. He wrote, "Scott Traudt motions denied. Court cites only Schwab is left on case, and Schwab is stayed until arbitration. End of the road for Scott Traudt. What's next? Will he get leave to file another amended complaint?" And he added this screenshot. Let me show you that we also have some comments from Mark Basile in regards to this update. Mark wrote, "The court is just following procedure and seems to be helping Scott in a certain way. I suggest he make a motion similar to what Anna Traudt did in Trade Station, to vacate the stay and for leave to file an amended complaint that includes class allegations. FINRA excludes class actions from arbitration specifically by its own regulations, so class actions cannot be arbitrated by FINRA. In addition, the brokerage agreement likely reflects this too. It's a hiccup. He can seek leave to amend." And guys, Mark is suggesting to Scott that he potentially can also switch his lawsuit to a class action lawsuit. And Scott mentioned about it back in the days, and right after that, and right after he started to ask tricky questions to Greg McCabe and John Burda, he became a so-called persona non grata in the MMTLP community. But at the same time, guys, Scott mentioned multiple times that he potentially might change the status of his lawsuit to class action lawsuit, but it is the very last thing that he will do. And he also confirmed it with this tweet: "No, no, hell no." This means, guys, Scott will fight in a so-called classical manner, and that is why, guys, on the one hand, it is a good sign that Scott is still fighting and he doesn't want to change the status of his lawsuit. But on the other hand, in general, with these rulings, unfortunately, we don't have much chances in his litigation. So, let me show you another quite interesting update. Let me show you again. Roman Soups wrote this in response, in regards to the information of Scott Traudt's update. He wrote, "MMTLP, anyone got a wellness check out for Scott Traudt? Maybe it's time to sue people who actually took your money instead of pretend SEC and FINRA did it while you let the thieves make a successful exit." And Scott responded to this, and I don't want to comment, I just want to give you this information. "Oh, please, didn't you pump MMTLP before it even traded? And don't you now have a whistleblower complaint that if I am successful in forcing trading in MMTLP via the writ of mandamus will become worthless because people will finally get paid and your WBC becomes nullified? You own virtually no shares, yet daily bust balls over this. I spoke today to the attorney on the writ of mandamus for the SEC. They may not even file a motion to dismiss. So, seriously, on Monday, I filed my final defense of the second amended complaint, while you probably hosted yet another disgrace call. Yeah, I'm at the docks, so forgive me if I take a few days away from the most toxic online set of people ever assembled. What is that now? You have a zillion hours of them, and why? As for McCabe and Burda, others in 1209 are taking them down. When I filed suit, I limited it to what I knew and could move on. The body of evidence now points to others, and other people are picking up the baton and going on the attack. In the end, there will be no whistleblowers payday for you if any of us get resolution. So, time will tell what will be the resolution for this case. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. In response to this so-called bombshell that I covered yesterday, and it was an information from the Twitter account the real Greg McCabe. Unfortunately, we don't know who this person is. He or she doesn't disclose his private data, his real name, but it was an allegation that Scott Traudt is a charlatan. And I have to admit that it is just a false statement and nothing more than just rumblings of a madman, I would say. But in response to this set of tweets, Jennifer wrote, "Last time I checked, he wasn't the one doing space calls 24/7, but nice try." And Mark Basile responded to Jennifer. He said, "Patience, Jennifer, patience." And I have to admit that this means, guys, Mark is still working, and just guess a week ago he mentioned that he will disclose a set of information that will definitely expose even more people allegedly inside the MMTLP community who were on the wrongdoers' side. And in response to this conversation, Scott asked Mark, "Do you have all the numbers you need to convert Anna's case to a class action?" And Mark responded, "That comes after the complaint is accepted after the motion to vacate stay and leave to file the amended complaint. Minimum number is 34. That comes when we have to certify the class. However, under Florida state law, just need 2 or more class members. Just need to define the class and discuss numerosity." And I have to admit that this number of potential plaintiffs in this class action lawsuit might lead to very interesting results. In general, you know that in this type of class action lawsuits, the plaintiffs themselves they don't benefit a lot because of the huge number of these plaintiffs and the limited amount of payments. At the same time, the company, the lawyer firm, is the winner in this case, usually, I would say. And in this particular case of Mark Basile, potentially the number of plaintiffs is just several dozens, and this means potentially the payments might be quite impressive. And if it happens, for the rest of MMTLP community, he will open the path to the resolution. And in my opinion, it is a huge update. So let me show you another quite interesting update from John Burda. Unfortunately, he doesn't publish any information about the MMTLP case in particular and his involvement in the most recent actions. But he reposted the tweet that was written by George Palikaras, and he wrote this: "Great post, George." And let me quote you some details of this post. George wrote, "You raise some good points about small companies, but let's be real. The OTC markets is not an actual exchange. It does not play by the same rules as the Nasdaq or New York Stock Exchange. Yet it consistently lobbies for more leniency while doing a little to clean up the toxic financing and market manipulation that plug its platform. If the OTC wants a seat at the table in discussions about capital formation, it needs to start acting like a legitimate exchange. Otherwise, it's time for the SEC to pull the plug." And he explains basically the details in regards to OTC actions, how it facilitates some shady actions from the participants, how it allows foreign investors to impact the US stock market. But I want to pay attention to this set of paragraphs. And let's not forget in 2021 how the MMATF turned onto MMTLP fiasco, where the OTC provided it wasn't just a passive bystander to market chaos. It was actively rewriting the rules on the fly. The OTC allowed MMATF to trade pre-merger without management notification or consent, which also traded post-merger for over 24 hours, June 28, 29, 2021, despite it not being DTC eligible, only to cancel it without a corporate action when they realized they're screwed up. If you have no idea what I am talking about, let's have a call. Then, as if that wasn't shady enough, MMTLP was born and allowed to trade for over a year without management's consent before the OTC and FINRA decided to pull a U3 halt while simultaneously altering the corporate action at the last minute and not communicating the details to anyone, including the issuer MMAT. If then took weeks, to get even simplest answers. I am sure there are dozens of other so-called unique cases. And guys, he wrote this in response to Cromwell Carlson tweet that he wrote on February the 10th. And I have to admit that he responded, guys, to Roman Soup's tweet that he published on February the 7th. And I encourage you to read this entire thread because it also exposes some actions from the authorities' side. And unfortunately, guys, yes, we have a set of problems that leaded us to the current status of MMTLP saga. On the one hand, we definitely have a lack of responsibility, lack of accountability from authorities in order to regulate the OTC markets. On the other hand, guys, we have several mistakes, let's put it this way, from the C-levels executives, especially from, for example, George Palikaras and John Burda. Right after the MMTLP became tradable, they wrote to FINRA in order to stop this trading activity. But without proper answer, they just skip the follow-up letters, and they didn't force to push this case forward. Unfortunately, it was also one part of these actions that led us to the current status. On top of that, guys, a lot of shady actions was made from the so-called mass media side, and this was definitely the reason why a lot of people invested in MMTLP and MMAT, and they have their money frozen. And guys, I have to admit that you can read this, for example, tweet, and Roman Soups, regardless of your opinion on his actions, from time to time publish some interesting things. And here is one of them. He wrote, "You know, your stock pump and dump was a fizz out when even Bo Rhymes on Microcap Daily says it was lies, lies, lies." We have come to the conclusion that there never was a short position on MMTLP, and in the coming days, when they balance the books, we believe that that's exactly what they will show. FINRA is just doing its job. And here is the letter, a screenshot of the letter. Let me quote you this in details. Our thoughts on MMTLP and what happened. As everyone knows, by now MMTLP was halted and will not resume trading again. If you go on YouTube, there are dozens of videos now saying that FINRA is corrupt and working with the hedge funds to screw the little guy, and that what happened to MMTLP is unprecedented. And nothing like this happens on the bulletin boards. This, of course, is not what happened. FINRA is not corrupt and they are not working with anyone. FINRA rightfully halted the stock to protect shareholders who would have bought MMTLP after the 8th, because anyone buying after the 8th did not get the next bridge shares and would have been buying an empty placeholder. Everyone who was interested in MMTLP will now be shareholders in NextBridge Hydrocarbons, a private company. As of the short squeeze, we believed, just like everyone else, MMTLP was skyrocketing up the charts. Dozens of YouTube channels, stock tweets, Reddit, everywhere else all saying the same. YouTube Bird Lady Roll Pigeon saying there was millions of MMTLP shares short, and then the Torchlight CEO John Burda appearing on multiple live streams with Bird Lady agreeing with everything she was saying and going as far as saying that everything Bird Lady was saying was right over the bullseye. This gave her an air of legitimacy. We believed her. We have now listened to the logic of the YouTubers, and one thing they all seem to miss is that MMTLP was not trading like a stock that had these enormous short positions stuck in it during the last week. If an enormous short position of tens of millions shares had to cover in days, they would have been covering a long time ago. The last day that MMTLP traded, last Thursday, it lost almost half its value, relentless selling. Investors saw the writing on the wall. There was no short squeeze happening here, and they were selling. We have come to the conclusion that there never was a short position on MMTLP, and in the coming days when they balance the books, we believe that's exactly what they will show. FINRA is just doing its job. And guys, I have to admit that I partially agree with this statement, but at the same time, guys, we know that even FINRA admitted 2.65 million shares shorted on MMTLP at the time of U3 halt. On top of that, guys, Greg McCabe in official PR statement also mentioned that the real number of short positions that stuck in MMTLP case was much higher than 2.65 million shares. On top of that, guys, Mark Basile's case is based on the statement of Trade Station that they couldn't cover their positions with existing stocks, and they also had a share imbalance. All of these facts lead me to the conclusion that a lot of shady actions happened back in the days. But guys, if you take a look at the description section of my video, the very first link is the link to my Patreon, and the second one is the link to the video that I made, I guess, on December the 7th of 2022. Where I explained to you my thoughts about your potential behavior, what you should do in order to preserve your capital. I highly encourage you to watch this video. And on top of that, guys, Bird Lady Roll Pigeon. Let me show you that just recently she published a new video. Basically, she made it 12 hours ago. And this video explains the most recent actions. Basically, it explains how the MMTLP, how the Next Bridge Hydrocarbons lost the Orogrande leases. But at the same time, guys, in this entire video of 11 minutes, she didn't mention that Next Bridge Hydrocarbons didn't pay royalties. And in my opinion, it is a huge mistake from her side. And that is why, guys, please watch this video with a grain of salt, because of her behavior, I think she might hide something, because definitely she is a clever woman, and I think she had to mention about this fact that Next Bridge Hydrocarbons didn't pay royalties. It is the main reason why University Lands didn't want to renew this contract. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. pack. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up.